Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So here you're going to have my video number 2, so part 2 of the manipulation. What to do if you feel you're being manipulated, the signs, and I don't know why, but my glasses are going really wonky every time I come on camera. They don't like me. Yeah, so the signs of being manipulated, what to look out for, what to do if you feel that you are being manipulated. And this can be across the board. This can be with friends, family, partners, children, so any of these things, work, colleagues, anything, you can be manipulated. You could even do it yourself. So if you want to find out a bit more about this, you know what to do. I haven't done this in a while, so grab your tea, grab your drink of choice, whatever it might be, whether it be coffee, whether it be gin, whether it be Pepsi, Diet Coke, lemonade, water. Let's go with a healthy version. But whatever it is, also, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So grab your drink. Let's dive right in. So, welcome back, part 2. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about manipulation. This can be in many forms, and it can be done very overtly or covertly. So when I look at manipulation, there are obviously there's the kind of ones that we all can do. We've possibly all done that, where we've kind of tried to manipulate our parents. We've tried to even manipulate our children to go to bed early. We've done the things that as a human being we are capable of doing, and we know it. We know it. We've all, like I say, we've all done it. I've done it. I know I have. One of the things I think I've said in a previous video, I used to do when my kids were little, was I used to, when the summer, because my kids, obviously they would go to bed at a certain time, and I really am probably awful for doing this, and my kids are going to watch this and be like, what? I think, though, to be fair, I think I've told them. So one of the things I used to do is in the summer, obviously, because the evenings were lighter, they would go to bed at, say, 7, 8 o'clock p.m. normally. Now in the winter, that's fine, but in the summer, it was really hard to get them to go to bed. So sometimes if they were really playing up, I would actually change the clocks, whether it be to put them an hour before. So then they would look at the time, see that it was 7 o'clock or whatever it was, and they would then know that was bedtime. I know that's awful, but as a parent, sometimes you just need that little bit of peace and quiet. I had 2 boys, they were boisterous, and sometimes it was challenging. So yeah, I'm going to admit that on camera. So yes, I used to do that. And I'm sure, like I say, as parents, we've all kind of done something. If you haven't, you're better than me. And so I hold my hands up to you. So obviously get into the more serious thing, talking about manipulation. Now I've made some notes because obviously I want to talk about specific things. Now, obviously, as you have seen the video, hopefully part 1, if you haven't, it's a video that I've done before this one, where I've talked about the manipulation of Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. And in the video, you can absolutely clearly see how she's manipulating the situation. And it's very sad. It's very sad. And when I work with anyone, whether it be relationships, manipulation really does come across. I can see it in clients when they're trying to manipulate their partners. It's like quid pro quo. If I do this, so you should do this. It's manipulation, and it's all about intent. Everything that you decide to do, look at the intent behind it, because I hear a lot where people say, but if I don't do that, I'm going to upset them. And I don't want to question that because they'll get upset. Well, first and foremost, you are not responsible for someone else's feelings. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you cannot care about them. Of course you can. But you're not responsible for them, because what can happen is you can make a very innocent comment, and it is meant and it's come from the best place, from, you know, the good part of you that wants to do the right thing, but someone can take it badly. Now, what can happen then with manipulation is if this person has taken it badly, they can then kind of transfer that back to you and almost create you to be wrong for saying or doing what you said. This is manipulation. So, for example, you know, if someone says to somebody, you know, I feel hurt when you say that, what somebody can then do is get upset by that, and they will use that upset to create you to feel wrong. They will cry, or they might turn it back on you and say, yeah, but you did this one time. And so, you know, and then kind of deflect away from that to make it then about them. So the thing that you've brought to their attention will then come back and be that. And then what will happen is you will miss what you're trying to say, and it will then become about them. So that's the kind of form of manipulation. Now, there are other forms. So it's basically a form of control. So when somebody's trying to manipulate, and it can be the smallest thing to the biggest thing. You know, we've seen car salesmen use manipulation in trying to get a sale. And one of the things that tactics they use is you come in with a big amount, and if you're not interested, they will manipulate, and then they will come in with a smaller amount. And because it started at a bigger amount, the smaller amount seems attractive, so you'll go with it. When really the bottom line is that car probably was that amount to start with. They've just upped the price, made it seem like you're getting a good deal. But when you're looking at friendships, they can also do something similar. So it's something where they might come and they might say, they'll do one of two things. They'll come in and they'll ask to use your phone. Simply innocent, and you're just kind of like, you know, your neighbor or whoever. Yeah, that's fine, not a problem. And they'll make a quick phone call, give you the phone back. Day later, or maybe even that same day, oh, do you know what, I'm really, really sorry, can I just come and use your phone again? And they'll do it in a way that either they'll come in with a kind of like a victim story, like, you know, or something's really happened, and can I use your phone again? Now, the story could be genuine, it doesn't matter, but the manipulation is there already because they've already tried once, they're going to try it again. So what they can do is they'll start off small. Can I borrow something? Can I borrow a £5? They don't pay it back, and then later on they'll come back and go, can I borrow some more money? Or they might pay it back, but then they'll come in with a bigger amount. Oh, I don't suppose you've got 20 quid you can lend me. And then what you'll find is then they might not lend you that 20 quid back, give you that 20 quid back, or you'll have to ask them for it, and then they'll create you to feel bad because you're asking for your money back. You know, it's like, you know, I'm broke. I can't believe you're asking me for the money back. I'll get it to you when I'm paid. And then they'll create an argument where the intents and purposes is not to pay you back. You know, so they will do this subtly, or you will get the opposite where they will come in with a large amount. You know, can I borrow £1,000, say, for example? You know, I'm really, really stuck. I can't pay my rent. You know, can I please borrow some money from you? And then if you say no, then they will come in with a smaller amount. Well, if you could just, you know, if I could just loan me something, and then I'll perhaps get the money from somewhere else. And again, because it's gone from a larger amount to a smaller amount, you might say yes. Now, if you say no, you will get aggressive. You will get that aggression, you will get that manipulation. They will either try to make you feel guilty, they will punish you by being quite nasty about you, they will decide that you're no longer their friend, you know, and I've certainly experienced this, you know, so that you have that form of manipulation. And again, I don't know if any of you have that going on in your life, but it can be with friends, family, you know, anyone that can ask you for something, and then when you say no, they will create a problem, drama, because you said no. So the other forms is blame. So you will get blamed for something. So for example, if you do something that upsets somebody, rather than talking about it, they will blame you for the fact that they've been upset. You know, so for example, if you're in a healthy place with your friend, relationship, family, if somebody has upset you, okay, you know, for example, for me, I would go to somebody and say, look, when we had that conversation, I actually noticed that I felt really upset, and I kind of just wanted to talk to you about it. or somebody would do something, and you would say, can I talk to you? Because when you, I don't know if you can remember when you did that, I actually felt really upset and I was just kind of wondering if I could talk to you about it. That is coming from a healthy place. Now, what can happen then is that if the person is not in a healthy place, they will equally then come back and say, and kind of become manipulative in the fact that you've brought something to their attention. So they will not like the fact that you've called them out on something. So, for example, they will then come back and they will make you feel bad. They will turn it around and they will say, yeah, well, I might have done that, but the reason I did that is because you did that. And it's passive aggressive, because the bottom line is, if the person had a problem with what you've said previously, they should have brought it to your attention. But people score. So this is what can also happen in manipulation, in relationships especially, and in friendships. People score points. So they add it all up. They don't say anything at the time. And when you say one thing or do one thing, it will all come out. Yeah, well, 6 months ago you did this, 4 months ago you did this. And it's literally like they've got this like score sheet of everything that you've kind of done wrong. So then what happens is the thing that you have brought to their attention disappears, because now you're focused on everything that you have done wrong. And then you're finding yourself apologizing for all the things that they've told you you've done wrong, even though they should have brought it to your attention in the first place. So the other things as well is that, if you feel like, if you find yourself feeling obligated, if you find yourself feeling guilty, if you find yourself feeling fearful even, these are signs that you're being manipulated. So if someone is asking you to do something and you feel that you can't say no for various reasons, whether it be that they will get angry with you, whether they will not speak to you, whatever else that they might decide to do, as an action in regards to you saying no. So you find yourself saying yes consistently or agreeing to them because you're afraid to be your true self. You are being manipulated. If you feel obligated, to do it because they've done something for you, you are being manipulated. Now, it could be that they're not necessarily manipulating you, but you're feeling, there will be a manipulation there. So what can happen is that would have come from somewhere. So it's either that the person's manipulating you in, I've done this for you, so you must now do this for me. Or somewhere along the way, you've been manipulated. So now when you're in this new friendship relationship, you're now feeling obligated to do the same thing because the person previous would create you to feel bad. Now, that's not the person's fault. That is something that you would look at. And obviously the other thing then is if you are feeling guilty. Now, guilty is manufactured. It's not, in a sense, it is real, but it's not real. It's like we create it. So somewhere along the way, it would start to form because you've either been made to feel guilty about something, and so you then start generating this, if I don't do what this person wants, I feel bad. You know, if this person becomes upset, so if they've manipulated you where you say something, you stand up for yourself, and then they get upset, you then feel bad that you've upset them. Well, you haven't upset them. They feel upset with what you said. So there's a difference, which means that's somewhere that they have to look at. So for example, if somebody says to me, I don't like your channel. I think your channel is really, really stupid. Say, for example, really stupid. Now, obviously, because I've done work on myself, I would say, well, that is your opinion. You're entitled to it. I don't agree. And if you really don't want to watch it, then I absolutely understand that. End of. That's it. You know, it's not for me to create the person to feel better. But if I wasn't, then I could get very upset. And I could then go, okay, so then what do you want me to change about the channel? And then the person then forms manipulation because they're like, well, okay, if you do this, then I would watch your channel. Okay, yeah, I'll do that then. So do you see the manipulation starts to form? You know, or you could then feel upset and be upset, in which case then you would have to look at, why am I upset by what this person has said? You can then form the manipulation because you've got upset, where then the person then comes back and says, oh, I didn't mean what I said. I didn't mean what I said. You know, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. You know, your channel's fine. You know, so then it becomes, well, was the truth the first bit or was it the second bit? And then manipulation starts to form. Now, obviously, there are very variations, a lot of variations. Like I say, we can have innocent manipulation. You know, like I said, going back to the beginning, you know, we've all done things that have formed manipulation. You know, when you're looking at relationships, for example, when we use Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, manipulation, she is classically manipulating him in that video footage. But that's not to say that he has also not been manipulative within the relationship. You know, I don't know. I can only go by what I see on that footage and what I've seen of their red table talks and things like that. And she is very much the alpha in that relationship. She is more dominant. He kind of is more submissive to her. But again, that is the dynamic that they have. And it is pretty toxic. Another example, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. Now, we have seen the huge amounts of manipulation that she has created. What she has done is she's homed in on this vulnerability, the vulnerabilities that he has, and she has manipulated the entire relationship to be the way she wants. Now, when he stood up for himself and he finally said enough's enough, she then exacted revenge, and she started then manipulating outside of the relationship, trying to get her flying monkeys to manipulate, trying to get the media on side. She then did the article in the Sun newspaper. So she manipulates away from him, but to create that manipulation for, you know, it still kind of goes on. Harry and Meghan, you know, you can classically see that both of them manipulate. She clearly manipulates with the fact that she is a narcissist, and she has manipulated him from the very, very beginning. But also the fact that he also manipulates. He creates the victim narrative. You know, I am the way I am because of my mother's death. If that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't be the way I am. I am the way I am because of the royal family. So he blames. So he blames consistently. People who manipulate consciously, or in the fact that that is becoming who they are as in their characteristic, as in that narcissistic personality disorder, will blame. They will never, ever take responsibility for their own actions. And that is another classic sign of you're being manipulated, is the fact that the person that you are in this relationship with, or friendship or family, take zero responsibility. You know, a person who is starting to grow and learn will start to look at their own behavior, because we are all culpable for the way we say things, the way we do things. And it is always the intent behind it. So yes, you can learn and you can grow, and you can certainly do things on a subconscious level because you don't realize you're doing it. But when it's brought to your attention and you look at it and kind of go, okay, I can kind of see what I was doing there, then it's down to you to change it. Now, obviously, if you're doing it on a conscious level, you are manipulating, then there's a lot more going on that you feel the need to be coercively, control people, or like I say, that you have narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder. There is a lot out there, you know. And so those are the people that I would say, like probably the Jada Pinkett Smith, the Amber Heards of the world, Meghan Markles of the world, will never take responsibility. Harry, at the moment, no, but away from her and maybe given the right environment, he might start to realise, with the right help, that actually the way he's behaved towards his family is so wrong on many levels. So possibly, but if he's too far gone and he stays with her, then no, he will never take responsibility. So I hope you kind of get a glimpse into sort of manipulation, and you know, and I invite you to look at your relationships, whether it be now, previous, you know, look at whether those relationships you had manipulation in those. look at yourself, even look at, look at ways that you think that you could possibly manipulate somebody. And if you think you're doing that, then change it, because the goal is obviously to be the best version of yourself, and so if you feel that you're doing those things, then you can absolutely look at that and change it. Listen to what your partner says, listen to what your friends or your family say. And it doesn't mean to say that you take everything on board, because if you believe that you're not, because again, it is about intent. So I hope this has helped. I'm just going to check my notes to make sure I haven't missed anything. No, I think I've covered most things. So yeah, the other thing as well, of course, gaslighting, which I've spoken about before, 100% manipulation. If there are strings, should I put my teeth back in? If there are strings attached, so I'm not sure if I've just mentioned that before, but if there is an agenda, strings attached, manipulation. So, like I say, look at all of these things, because none of us are innocent, like I say, and I've included myself in this. We all have moments when we can do stuff like this, even if it's something that's kind of innocent, where, you might kind of go, oh, please come out with me. And if you do that, I will do something else. Now, it's not to change things like that, because it's kind of cutesy, and we all kind of do things like that to a degree. And if your friend or family are not that bothered by it, then it's not so much an issue. But there are the more sinister ones. So yeah, self-check yourself, be your own therapist. Once you kind of start looking at those things, awareness is key. So I'm going to stop rambling now. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that you've had some clarity into manipulation, into how you can be manipulated, what to do if you are being manipulated, which is basically remove yourself from the situation, know yourself, so then the person cannot manipulate you. So if you work on yourself, like I've always said, you will not be able to have anyone in your life that will manipulate you in a way that can damage you. So, don't be afraid to say no. If someone reacts to that, that is on them. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will do further videos. Thank you for watching the previous one, and I love you all. Thank you for everyone that has bought me a cup of tea. Please don't forget to like the video, because the likes really help the algorithm and stops YouTube unsubscribing people to my channel. If you love my content, please subscribe, because like my friend Trevor says, it's free. Yeah, so if you are wanting to contact me, the email is here and it will be in the description box below, and I will try and get you as soon as I can. So thank you to everybody who is messaging me, buying me a cup of tea, supporting my channel by donating. You are amazing, and I love you all as always. And that's really, what else can I say? What else can I say? So my amazing bubble family, as a bubble sister to you all, I love you all, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Love you guys, bye.